Hi everybody, we are on air with my Beatles collection. Today we're going to look at a box set. This is an unauthorized box set and it's called the Beatles Live Collection, the Ultimate Live Collection. This is a 29 CD set, kind of a flimsy box. It's empty. I took the CDs out. It's very light cardboard and doesn't hold up well, but the CDs are great. And this box set came out in 2016. One of the things it says on here is, I'll put it up there and you can pause it if you want to read it. But it says, as a celebration of the release of Ron Howard's cinema movie 8 Days a Week and the CD release of the Hollywood Bowl concerts, here is the most complete and upgraded Beatles live collection ever, taken from the best sources and most complete, with a few unbooted tracks heard for the very first time. Here's the Beatles as you've never heard them before. And on the side, it shows what some of the covers look like. Yeah, same on both sides. Anyway, that's the spine. This is what the stack of CDs looks like when it comes out of the box, and it is a stack. Some of these are doubles, and they say not for sale 2016 on the bottom of several of them. So here's the first one, Beatles Live. So this is Complete Live Collection CD number 1 on the back. And it lists all the tracks. Again, you can pause that if you want to read that. I'll jump through it fast. This is St. Peter's Church, Liverpool, 1957. Putting on the Style, Baby Let's Play House. Cavern Club, August 1962. 2 versions of Some Other Guy. Cavern Club, later September 62, Some Other Guy again, and Kansas City, Hey Hey Hey. And then Rehearsal at the Cavern Club a month later in 1962. This is October. I saw her standing there, 1 after 9:09, Cat's Walk, a couple of versions of each of those. And then Pops and Lenny, TV, May 63, From Me to You. Granada Cinema in England in May of 63, Some Other Guy and Please Please Me. Gaumont, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Gaumont Cinema in Bournemouth, England in August of 63, Roll Over Beethoven, The Taste of Honey, Baby It's You, She Loves You, Twist and Shout. And then TV show, The Mersey Sound, BBC, and that's Twist and Shout. I saw her standing there and She Loves You. And then Sunday Night at the London Palladium in October 1963, From Me to You, I'll Get You, She Loves You, Twist and Shout. And let's see, Beatles pop group. Not sure what this one is. It's kind of hard to read. It's apparently a Stockholm radio show, and I saw her standing there, From Me to You, Money, the Roll Over Beethoven, You Really Got a Hold on Me, She Loves You, Twist and Shout. And then another one from Sweden, She Loves You, Twist and Shout. I saw her standing there, Long Tall Sally. And then there's another bonus version of Some Other Guy from the Cavern Club. So that's just one CD out of 29. Obviously not going to be able to go through all of them in that level of detail. This is what it looks like from the inner sleeve. If you want to see those titles again, you can pause that and look at those titles again. And I'll show you what the actual CD looks like. So there's just a paper label on there. Note to CD number 1, scream as loud as you can. That clearly is a paper label. Oh, maybe it's not a paper label. Yeah, it's a paper label. I assume this is a CDR, but it actually looks like a silver CD, so it's hard to know. The sound is, as good as you might expect on something recorded off of TV or radio. It's not bad. If you want to hear what the Beatles sounded live with the audience noise and all that stuff, this is a good example of that. I can't say that I've listened to every one of these CDs, so I can't really comment on the quality of all of them. I can just tell you, that, what's on them. This is CD number 2. And again, if you want to pause it, you can see what's on this one. I'll take a quick scan to see if there's anything unusual here. And we're still in that early Please Please Me with the Beatles phase. Actually, most of this is Please Please Me phase. Yeah. But lots of versions of the same song, where they're performing in different places. Winter Garden Theater in Bournemouth and Grenada Cinema, Royal Variety Performance from November '63. That has From Me to You, She Loves You, Till There Was You, Twist and Shout. Of course, that's the performance where John famously said, clap your hands and the rest of you rattle your jewelry. Anyway, that's that one. Here's volume 3. That's what that looks like. I like all the different covers. It gives you a nice cross section of what they were doing. Number 3 has a couple of the Ed Sullivan appearances. So it has All My Lovin', Till There Was You, She Loves You, I Saw Her Standing There, I Want to Hold Your Hand. It also has Please Please Me, All My Lovin', and another version of I Want to Hold Your Hand, all from that Ed Sullivan rehearsals and performance. And, one version of Please Please Me and All My Loving was recorded on February 9th, but it was broadcasted on February 23rd. Anyway, there's also Olympia Theater in France, a whole bunch of stuff from there, and Sunday night at the London Palladium, I mentioned already. This was a later show from January 64, January 12, 64. I Want to Hold Your Hand, This Boy, All My Lovin', Money, and Twist and Shout. Anyway, that's that one. And if you want to pause the back and see that. Here's volume 4. It says Washington, D.C. and Miami. This one you can clearly see says Not For Sale 2016. That's when this set came out. And Shut Up, Paulie's Talking. It's quoted on both of these. So this says the sessions are, songs 1 through 14 are from You Know What to Do, and the selections 15 through 21 are the Ultimate Ed Sullivan DVD edition. 22 through 28 are the Historic Live Recordings Volume 1 LP, and then 26 through 27 and 19 through 30 are from a bootleg called The Really Big Shoe, S-H-E-W. Of course, that's how Ed Sullivan used to pronounce Really Big Show, Really Big Shoe. Anyway, that's volume 4. That's volume 4. Then we have this one, volume 5. And I'll show you the back of that. Now this says the Ultimate Live Collection, Volume 5. Big Beat 64, April 64, London. And this one is Historic Live Recordings, Volume 2, Conquering America on the Purple Chick label, Returning the Cheese, which is a no-label bootleg, Around the Beatles, which was the DVD, and then there's something from a Beatles a Blu-ray. That would be, let's see, song number 19, which is Can't Buy Me Love, which is from Around the Beatles, but this is, the source is a Blu-ray. And then track number 20, which is Can't Buy Me Love, which is from the New Musical Express NME Anthology DVD. And that was bootlegged on something called Two Track Mind on the Brown Nose Records label. So these are bootlegs of bootlegs in several cases. But again, it's Beatles live from everywhere. So this one is from Australia, I believe, and it references Jimmy Nicol, who famously sat in for Ringo, and it's got it says "Best Wishes, Jimmy Nicol" on the front. Let's see what it says on the back. Well, it says The Starry Night in Denmark, Lost and Found, Volume 2, Fab Productions, Looking Through the Bent Back Tulips on a no-label bootleg. This is all early stuff. I Saw Her Standing There, Want to Hold Your Hand, All My Lovin', She Loves You, Twist and Shout. I guess this is a Netherlands source, Denmark. I didn't know that Jimmy Nicol was involved with that. I thought he was Australia only. But this clearly relates to Denmark. This is what the inner sleeve looks like on that one. And you can see here, it references Denmark and the Beatles in the Netherlands. And they call this particular CD Best Wishes, Jimmy Nicol. Okay. Like I said, I haven't listened to all these, so I can't comment too much on that. My MO here is to show you things, show you what's inside these boxes, and maybe you'll seek them out and you'll know them better. This is Back With Us Now, Ringo. And this is Adelaide and Melbourne, Australia. This is a 2 CD set. And again, it's the same stuff. It's the early Beatles stuff. And this is, recorded in 64. You want to freeze that and see all the songs that are on there. But again, this is a 2 CD set. This one is Sydney, Stockholm, Blackpool, San Francisco, Las Vegas, Seattle. In the Eye of the Hurricane. Again, it's a 1964 vintage. So it's all songs from that period, from the first really world tour, including the US and Australia. This is a 3 CD set. The Ultimate Live Collection, Volume 9. Great to Have You With Us. And again, this is 64. This is Vancouver. It is, let's see, where else are we? Yeah, it looks like it's all Vancouver. It doesn't really clearly show it on here. Let's see if it shows anything on the inner sleeve here. Yeah, so disc 3 is Empire Stadium, Vancouver. Disc 2 is Atlantic City Convention Hall and Hollywood Bowl. That's interesting. And disc 1 is Vancouver and Hollywood Bowl, Empire State Empire Stadium in Vancouver, August 64, and then Hollywood Bowl, August 64. That which the Hollywood Bowl is a stereo remix. And I'll show you that side. So again, if you wanted to know what the Beatles sounded like on tour in 1964 in various performances throughout the world, this is that. This is the same tour. This is volume 10. And Stamp Out Detroit. Okay. Not sure where these bootleggers get these titles from. This is volume 10 of this set, even though it's not the 10th CD because we have multiple CDs in some of these. And again, this is the same stuff from, the same tour. Only it's different performances. Some of this came from other bootlegs. So one is a bootleg called Live Beatles Rarities. There's a version of Twist and Shout on here. It doesn't say what the source is, but it says it's never been booted. There's Philadelphia, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Chicago, Detroit, and Toronto. So there's stuff from all different places on this set. Again, it's Twist and Shout. You can't do that. All My Lovin', She Loves You. Basically the same stuff they were doing everywhere in 1964. Now we're in Montreal, Boston, New Orleans, spelt wrong, Hull, Plymouth, and London. See, New Orleans is spelt wrong. Babies in Blackpool is the name of this one. And again, it's 64. It's pretty much the same material, just spread out. Actually, we're getting a little further down the line. This one has I'm a Loser. It has I Feel Fine, She's a Woman, Ticket to Ride, and also all the early stuff as well that we saw before. So here's that song list if you want to check that out. Now we're going to Paris. I can't read French, so I can't help you with that. This, like the last one, obviously this goes into 65. We get the early stuff, but we also get She's a Woman, I'm a Loser, Rock and Roll Music, Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby, Ticket to Ride, She's a Woman again, and again, early stuff. I Want to Be Your Man, Hard Day's Night. Here comes I Feel Fine and Ticket to Ride again. Long Tall Sally, A Hard Day's Night is on this. There's your song list there. Rome, Nice, and Blackpool. Opportunity Knocks. And this looks like it's all Paris. But apparently it's not because it says Nice and Blackpool on the front. So I can't see the distinction here. But yeah, all right, the Blackpool is Big Night Out. And that's tracks 18 through 20, which is, I do like to be beside the seaside, and then chat with Ringo, and then introducing something. Yeah, anyway, it looks like mostly it's the Beatles in Europe, but anyway. Then this is New York City and Atlanta. Can you hear me? This is, let's see. It's easier to do this from the inside. Okay, so disc 1 is Ed Sullivan Show in August 65. And it's a help, and then it says intro, help, then introducing, the whole word, introducing, and then help again. Then Ed Sullivan Show, August 14th, 65, CBS TV Studio 50 in New York City. And it's I Feel Fine, I'm Down, Act Naturally, Ticket to Ride, Yesterday, and Help. And then we go to Shea Stadium, August 65. That's nice to have. Got Ed Sullivan doing the intro for the Beatles. Then they do Twist and Shout, She's a Woman, I Feel Fine, Dizzy Miss Lizzie, Ticket to Ride, Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby, Can't Buy Me Love, Babies in Black, Act Naturally, A Hard Day's Night, Help, and I'm Down. And the source here is the Ultimate Ed Sullivan DVD collection, and then Historic Recordings Volume 3 on Ox Tango. And then there are 2 songs. Let's see. No, the 11 through 34, which is the full Shea Stadium show, is from a no-label bootleg called First Play at Shea. I'm going to go back and listen to that one. I don't recall how well that sounds. A lot of the Shea stuff is very difficult to hear, and a lot of the videos that show them at Shea have been overdubbed with studio, fixer-uppers. Here's the Ultimate Live Collection Volume 15 called Howdy Y'all, and that's from Houston, and that would be the Sam Houston Coliseum. And that album live from the Sam Houston Coliseum has been around for a long time in bootleg circles. I'll show you the track list there. Here's later in the 65 tour. This is Chicago, Bloomington, Minnesota, Portland, Oregon. Thank you very much for coming. Picture of a ticket there, and there's the set list there. Now we are reeling and rocking at the Hollywood Bowl. So all of these tracks are from the Hollywood Bowl. This is a 2 CD set here as well. It's volume 17. And here we are in Germany, Machschau. And this is from, let's see. The sources are Far East Men, bootleg on Purple Chick, and Far East Men again, Purple Chick, and then a couple of songs that were never booted, Yesterday and I'm Down, unbooted versions. And then there's a piece from Munich, from TV. It's called TV Munich Report. So that's Machschau. And this is Big in Japan. And this, of course, would be the famous Beatles at the Budokan, or 5 Nights in the Judo Arena, if you've seen some of these other bootlegs over the years. So this is 1966. So we're getting towards the end of the Beatles touring time. It doesn't have specific dates here. It might have dates on the inner sleeve. Yeah, so it's June 66 at the Budokan Hall in Tokyo. Rock and Roll Music, She's a Woman, If I Needed Someone, Day Tripper, Babies in Black, I Feel Fine, Yesterday, I Want to Be Your Man, Nowhere Man, Paperback Writer, and I'm Down. And then there's a that was a June 30th show. Then there's a July 1st show with the same tracks. Then there's 2 bonus tracks of Rock and Roll Music and She's a Woman, and they were both from Anthology 2. So those are the sources. The Budokan stuff is from, bootlegs, obviously. And then Anthology 2 is those last 2 tracks. So that's nice to have, too. I have long had the 5 Nights in a Judo Arena album. And then there's also various DVD and back before DVD, VHS and beta tapes of the Beatles at the Budokan Hall. And they were the audience was kind of, they were very polite. They didn't scream during the songs. They screamed in between. I'm familiar with the Budokan Hall. I actually went there for sumo wrestling in the 80s. So I'm familiar with the Budokan Hall. And anyway, I just thought you might like to know this. Anyway, now we're back. Where are we? This is back in the States, in North America. So Detroit, Cleveland, Toronto, Boston, and Memphis. And this is August 66. And this is when the More Popular Than Jesus thing hit here in the U.S. And this is a very hard to see picture when they were actually burning Beatles records here in the States. And here's the back of that. And of course, we're only literally weeks away from the Beatles deciding that they didn't want to do this anymore in terms of live performance. And on this one, we're going to get the live performance from Candlestick Park. In addition to, let's see, what else? You got Philadelphia, you got Memphis, St. Louis, New York City, Seattle, San Francisco. So most of these songs come from a bootleg on Purple Chick called the Final Tour, August 1966. And then there's another one called Stars and Stripped. And that has a couple of tracks on here from that as well. So here's the track list there. I'll take that out and we'll take a look and see more specifics on that. All right, so August 19th, Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis is the first 12 tracks. Then there's Busch Stadium in St. Louis. That's Rock and Roll Music and She's a Woman. And then they're at Shea. This is the second less famous Shea Stadium concert. The 65 one is the one that everybody talks about. This is the 66, August 23rd. This is literally 6 days before the Beatles as a live band ended. And this includes She's a Woman, If I Needed Someone, I Feel Fine, Yesterday, Paperback Writer. Then we have a couple of songs from Seattle Coliseum in Seattle on August 25th. Rock and Roll Music and She's a Woman. And then Candlestick, which is, the last concert ever. August 29th, 66, Rock and Roll Music, She's a Woman, If I Needed Someone, Day Tripper, Babies in Black, I Feel Fine, Yesterday, I Want to Be Your Man, Nowhere Man, Paperback Writer, and Long Tall Sally. So if anybody asks you the trivia question, what song did the Beatles play last on their final concert night in 1966 at the Candlestick, what song was it? The answer would be Long Tall Sally. Anyway, that's that CD. This is volume 21. There's only a couple more left, 3 more. This one is the Ultimate Live Collection, volume 2020, volume 22. And this is stuff from the Our World broadcasts, David Frost show, Frost on Sunday, and Rock and Roll Circus. So that's what that one looks like. And I'll show you the back. I'm going to pause it and read those tracks. So here we got All You Need Is Love for the One World thing. We got the David Frost show and a couple of different things from there. Of course, they were goofing around on that Banana Boat song, Day-O, but also Hey Jude. A couple of takes, actually 3 takes of Hey Jude. A couple of takes of Revolution. You've probably seen the videos of those. And then some Mick and John stuff. So, this is the Dirty Mac stuff with Your Blues, several takes of Your Blues. Then somehow we go back to Hey Jude. I'm sure that's not Mick and John. And another track of Revolution. And then the source here is Magical Mystery Tour Back to Basics, which is a boot. And then the Beatles Deluxe Edition, Volume 6 on Purple Chick. And Beatles Blu-ray. And then Come Together, another bootleg. And then Come Together, Chapter 24. And then Beast Friends, Volume 4 on a Brown Zebra. 2 more left here. This is the Rooftop Concert. So this is I Hope We Pass the Audition. Again, you can see the tracks there if you pause it. I think everybody knows what they did up on the rooftop. This is the complete rooftop. So we got a bunch of takes of Get Back and Don't Let Me Down, I've Got a Feeling, One After 909, Dig a Pony, God Save the Queen, I've Got a Feeling, Don't Let Me Down Again, Get Back Again, Get Back, Don't Let Me Down, I've Got a Feeling, One After 909, Dig a Pony, I've Got a Feeling Again, Don't Let Me Down, and Get Back Again. Excuse me. And anyway, that's the rooftop thing. And then finally, this is the Beatles performing individually. It's John and George and Paul. I don't think there's any Ringo on here. No. This is the Ultimate Live Collection, Volume 24, live at Madison Square Garden. And you get Come Together, Something, Lady Madonna, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, It Don't Come Easy, oh, there's Ringo, Long and Winding Road, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, I've Just Seen a Face, Blackbird, Yesterday, Here Comes the Sun, I Saw Her Standing There, and Come Together. So Beatles solo, all at Madison Square Garden. And, they have a Ticketron reference. That was the way to buy tickets to Madison Square Garden back in the day. And it shows prices starting at $4.50, $4.50, going all the way up to $10. Anyway, that's the final CD here. I'll just show you what that looks like on the inside, like the others. And take one last look at the label, live at Madison Square Garden. It doesn't, nowhere in here does it actually say it's the Beatles solo with their touring bands, but that is what it is. And, it's taken from all the various, let's see what it says for the various sources. Well, it doesn't actually say it. All the other ones tell you the various sources. This one doesn't tell you, but it is Madison Square Garden. It doesn't tell you if they came off of legitimate releases or not. Doesn't tell you that part. Anyway, that is the Beatles Ultimate Live Collection box set. You won't find this anywhere, I don't think. I got it in 2016, for one thing. I believe it was produced in probably in South America. I'm not positive about that. Again, that's the front cover. This is the back cover. It says, compiled by Cold Turkey Artwork, by Astronaut, by fans, for fans, never for sale. Yeah, they always put not for sale on there because they think that'll keep them out of trouble. They always put not for sale, but of course I had to buy it. They didn't give it to me for free. So anyway, that's the Ultimate Live Collection box. And it's nice to have. If you like to see what the Beatles really sounded like live, there's not a lot of studio help on this. Most of it came from bootlegs and not from officially released recordings. So, George Martin didn't get his hands on it. Giles didn't get his hands on it. It's just whatever it was. Some of it is through the board. Some of it's audience stuff. Most of it is recorded from other booths or television. So, it's copy of a copy for the most part. But again, it's a historical thing, and you know, it's nice to every once in a while just put one of them on and say, yeah, let's see what the Beatles sounded like on tour in 1965, and just put one on. And you know, it's nice to hear them doing songs that we are familiar with, that were all big hits worldwide. And then you can, you know, you can put another concert on from the same tour, or you can put another year on for with a completely different set list. So it's nice to have. I have lots of live stuff, not just this set here, and some of it's, I would say, is a higher quality. You know, individual tracks, or individual CDs, or vinyl for that matter. But again, it's a nice set. So that's it for today on this one, the Beatles Ultimate Live Collection. 29 CDs in this box. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber yet, please subscribe. As always, I'll leave you with a reminder that you know, I don't I don't listen to all this stuff just before I do the videos. My intention here is not to criticize or critique the content. It's to tell you what the content is. So a lot of people have had the opportunity to see these boxes somewhere, and they're not really sure what's in them because it doesn't tell you on the outside, you know, what's in them. So I like to do a show and tell, but I can't possibly listen to all 29 CDs before I do the show. And if I did, I wouldn't remember without taking extensive notes. So I hope you understand it's not my intention to critique these as much as it is to show you them, so you understand. You know, if you ever see this box somewhere, you know what's in it. And I'll do the same with several other box sets coming up here in some future videos. As always, I'd like to show what I have here. I got a bunch of stuff in the room here. And sometimes people have never seen the inside of it. They want to know, well, what's in that box? And, you know, to the degree that I can say this is what it sounds like, I will do that. But generally, it's my intention just to kind of give you a look inside and show you what I have, and see if you have any further interest in it. And then you can, you know, do your own research and try to find one if that's the case. I often am asked, can you tell us how much this stuff might cost and where to find it? I can't tell you where to find it. I can tell you that this box is 29 CDs. It's going to cost you, you know, well over $100. You know, it is a bootleg, so, you know, it's whatever the market will bear. There's no suggested list price from the manufacturer. So if you can find it, you know, for 100, 100 and a quarter, something like that, I would do it. You know, if it's 300, you know, it might be not worth the trouble. You might want to stick with something a little closer to the mainstream. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. I'll look to see you again next time.